Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Navtastic, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Fernandes, and
I am Chris Jayawardena. Hello.
We're about to review There's a Spy in My Beer, episode from season 4 of Laverne and Shirley, directed by Joel Zwick and written by Julie Mishkin. I bet you get some facts about them, don't you, Chris?
In the case of Joel, I mean, it's Joel again. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah. Joel's had a long career of working in sitcoms. He has directed so many episodes, but he's also directed so many episodes of Laverne and Shirley. I am actually running out of things to talk about with him. I will keep digging for the next episode. So regarding Julie Mishkin as the writer of this episode, this was another interesting case of the only episode to her credit, and it's the only IMDb credit that she has, like, at all, really, at least for television writing. And I did notice that her name matches Phil Mishkin, who was a supervising producer on the show during season 4. So that's a possible connection. The other interesting thing when I was trying to do some digging is that there was a writer at Marvel Comics around the late 70s with the same name, Julie Mishkin. It's probably a coincidence, and so I'm going to say this is speculation if it's the same person or not, but it's going to be, this is more of my call to arms that any listeners out there that have any connections or know the answer about who is this person, and did they have a history with the show? Did they have a history with this comics company and they, get to do an episode? I don't know, but help us out here, because I looked for like over an hour and a half last night and I was finding nothing.
Yeah. I don't know either. I got no clue, personally. Here's what the episode's about. While performing the very thankless and tiring job of helping to test a new diet beer in the experimental vat room at Schatz, Laverne bumps into a German-accented industrial spy, the Limp, and a green jacket trying to steal the brewery's new formula. And when she tries to defend her place of work, the guy jumps out of the vat room's window, which happens to be 3 flights up. Laverne tries to tell Shirley and everyone else around her that she saw an industrial spy, but due to the fact that Laverne's fatigue-based anxiety and jitteriness has had an effect on her performance and life lately, no one but Lenny and Squiggy believe her. And when she bumps into the guy at work again, he's posing as a normal Schatz employee. While everyone at home babies Laverne, thinks she's experiencing visual delusions and an oncoming nervous breakdown, the spy continues to appear in various unexpected locales to threaten her. Can Laverne convince Shirley what she's seeing is real? And will the girls be able to stop the spy before he exploits the formula? What do you think of this episode?
That's just listening back through the synopsis. God, this was a lot in this episode. It's a lot of, it's like an onion. It's got layers.
Yeah, it's very over the top. It's very way over the top.
Yeah, but it's an interesting. It's another one of these episodes where, like, I don't typically like this gimmick, which is the delusion aspect, but the exciting plot about the spy and is it real, is it not, I thought was delightful. So there was that was my favorite part of it, and I ended up really enjoying the episode because of it.
It's a fun little cloak and dagger episode in a lot of ways. I don't like the fact that nobody believes Laverne. Everybody thinks she's nuts.
Yep. But
the boys believe in her. The boys believe in her unstintingly, which is really interesting. But the physical stunts are great. The catharsis when she proves that she's right is really great. The audience loved that. The audience just goes nuts when she proves that she's right. And the fun little adventure-y, capery plot is really, really over the top, and yet a lot of really cheesy, sitcom-y fun. It's not my absolute favorite episode, but it is darn fun to watch.
Yeah. Some good stuff. Yeah. And, this is one that my, as I was mentioning to you earlier, yes, my mother really enjoyed this episode. And it was, it's kind of interesting that certain things work differently for certain people. Like, I enjoyed the physical comedy. I thought it was well executed, and at times, kind of risky with some of the how long underwater they're sometimes sticking down there. But it's it worked for me, but it wasn't like amazing. Whereas my mom was like, just dying laughing at, a lot of that bits of humor. I don't know if it just brought back, good memories of horseplay, when she was a kid or just whatever. But there's a certain delight, I think, that kind of is able to carry differently for different people for this episode, which I think is a sign of it being quite good, that it is able to hit, different demographics in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. This one seems to really, really be memorable to people. Perhaps because a clip of this ends up in the opening credits somewhere around season 8. So it probably strikes memories for people. Oh yeah, I remember this is a pretty memorable physical comedy episode. For a lot of people, specifically the vat scene brings back memories of the show. So that might have been so what happened with your mom. She was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this episode, seeing it the first time." Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the case, yeah. But it's good. And the other thing that also I really enjoyed about this one is that the directing of the actors is super on point. I think part of the reason why the audience reacts so well to it is that there's sort of a synergy of like the energies here. Like I love the Laverne sass in the opening of the episode.
Yes.
The sassiness, she is absolutely incredible.
Yes, she's so done with working in this room with these people too far away from a bathroom. She is just done with every aspect of it. She is so tired that she fell asleep in the middle of making out with a guy. Shirley goes, "Well, you could take advantage of him." And she goes, "Yeah, but I wouldn't be awake enough to enjoy it." Which is, jeez, Laverne.
Yeah, it's Laverne though. It's always hot to trot,
Yeah.
You were saying, you were just telling me last time that it's we're gonna get to that Flanderization pretty soon.
Yeah, it's getting there. Season 5 hammers it home. Season 6 and season 7 get bad with it. But yeah, she's just done with everything. She's tired. She's jittery. The stress of doing the job is not worth it. I don't even think they're getting a pay raise for working there, are they?
I mean, they refer to it doing overtime, so I don't know if their
possibly.
union is able to guarantee them OT. But
So they're probably
fingers crossed, probably something. Yeah.
So they're working on the line, and then they're doing these shifts. So no wonder Laverne's tired. They must be spending all the time at the brewery. So yeah, they must be getting something for it, but it's not enough to make it worthwhile for her. I love that she says, "Well, I'm going to go take a nap." Actually, they're doing this shift in the middle of the day. She said, "I'm going to go get a table at the break room for us." Shirley does. So it's possible that they're doing this shift instead of being on the line, or they're alternating days. So I don't know how it really works out, but yes, the sass is fabulous.
I guess it depends on if they. Yeah. In terms of the breaks and stuff like that, I do remember my stint in retail was that for every, I think it was like every 8 hours you get a 15 and a 30-minute lunch.
Yeah.
So that's at least that's what I remember. So I'm wondering if they're getting their 15, they're going to get their 15, and she's just going to try to get like 10 minutes of sleep or something.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's got something to do with it. So it's possible. That's also possible too. So you're probably right. I love that when Shirley does say that. Laverne says, "Get a place for me to go take a nap." And Shirley goes, "How about in the fermentation room?" And Laverne goes, "It stinks in there." "Yeah, but the fumes will put you out like a light." Complete with the finger snap.
The snap.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Cindy was great at the finger snaps.
Yes. Cindy does a lot of really great yeoman's work in supporting in this particular episode, because Penny gets to be very, 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 very spooked as Laverne as she tries to deal with this creepy dude who's following her everywhere, making her think she's going off the deep end. But yeah, there's a great bit of physical comedy where she first encounters this guy after accidentally dropping a beaker. No, dropping a glass. It's just a glass, right? It wasn't a beaker.
She refers to it as a glass. I'm pretty sure it was a beaker, and I didn't hear any me from it, so I can't tell.
So she's staying behind to sweep it up, and she sees this guy, and they get into a pas de deux, and he runs for his life and jumps to safety. And
and all while there's a little bit of Porcarina music.
Yes, that's the most Porcarina music the show ever uses. Marvelous, absolutely marvelous. Yeah, but this happens. Shirley's too late. Nobody believes that Laverne has experienced this, and we get a great entrance line for the boys. What do we see down there? Nothing but rancid yeast and rotten hops.
Hello. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my note is a wow with a big smiley face on it.
Yeah.
And I love. It's like look, there she is. The whole Twilight Zone bit. God. That's so cute.
The boys are vaguely teasing her here, but they also absolutely believe her 100%.
Yes.
And they're doing their own little amateur investigation on their own, but they're on a completely different tack and being unhelpful. Though they're trying to be helpful. So, a little line behind the iron drapes.
Yeah. God, when God was handing out brains, he mistook the two of you for a couple of cactus.
An honest mistake.
Yeah, the audience there's an awesome like one audience member clap at that, which I found hilarious.
Yeah. That is actually an iconic line. It shows the description of the boys, and people do remember that line because it's pretty iconic.
That's a good one. It's a good one. As is also the case of the baffling banana.
It turns black. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's frightening, isn't it?
Oh, the boys. Yeah, I love that they're so caught up in this fruit tack. They're just so stuck on fruit, and never actually manage to realize what is going on. It's glorious. It's so much fun.
Yep. And then there comes Ludwig, the accursed. No, I mean the German spy. He's not the bloodborne boss to my yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's somehow distantly related to Rex Dart, industrial spy.
And Rex Romano, voodoo doctor. I love Laverne's solution to trying to find the belt where he has strapped on his the various samples of beer is to just rip his shirt open in front of everyone. Of course she does.
Yeah, that's my note here is, and there he is, and there's his nipples, but it's not him, or is it? I was just gonna say I love the use of spy music. It's very Get Smart. It's very cute.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's very cute. The orchestra work on this particular episode, the scoring is very interesting. We get new emotional moment is happening music, lesson learned music, which is really nice and sounds really pretty. That happens over the science quiz scene, and I noticed that. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And thus sets in the whole, oh my god, she's so tired, she's going mad part of the plot. Which is not the show's finest moments, but it's...
Yeah, but it is, but back on track,
yes.
yeah, it's a very... There's some interesting music stuff to it. Yeah, it actually was one of the things that made me like the episode more, was that it just went whole hog into the espionage plot. Yeah. It allows us to connect more, I think.
Yeah. The show really does try to build some sort of suspense as to whether or not this guy is real and Laverne's just imagining things. They do an okay job trying to establish that. So we immediately siege into Laverne at home, being baby, and everybody thinking that she's losing her mind. And Shirley in full mom mode.
Mm-hmm.
With finger paints and oatmeal.
Shirley in the airplane. No, God, she's already a mom. Some people are born to be mothers, and Shirley Feeney is one of them.
Yes. Right from the very conception of the show, and to the point where she was crawling into an oven, going, "Give me that, Dad! Give me that, Daddy!" Back and stuff it out.
God, that wasn't even that long ago. How am I forgetting this now? Wow. Oh, that was good. That was a good bit. Yeah, that was stepping out, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And I do love Frank's little bits in the scene here. You know, it's like, no, she's not. She's faking it. Frank, why would she? Well, so she don't gotta go to work.
Yeah. And then he talks about how she'd fake her temperature going up.
Right.
The radiator.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I can picture her doing that. I can still picture tiny Laverne doing that, and then not looking at it to make sure that she hasn't given herself a 1,000,000-degree fever. And then every finger paints, because of course they do. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one like real downside. Yeah. I hate the finger paint bit.
Yeah.
It's like that's my note. Is what in the is this bit?
Yeah.
What in the is this?
I don't know.
I wrote it twice. In 2 separate paragraphs while talking about it.
I don't know if back in the olden days, that's what the implication was, that they did at mental hospitals was finger paint. But let me just say, in the 2020s, this makes no sense at all to the outside observer. because he's just like, and it goes on for too long, and then asking questions about how to mix things together. And I did like the Dr. Schoenroom callback from Playing the Roxy. That was fun.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's good. And then also I did like Frank telling his story about making the bunnies in the sauce. I really want to see that.
Same. And his declaration that he was gonna take his art and go send it to his mama. That was cute.
Yeah, that's super cute. God, it's so bizarre. Like that scene, like just the idea, and like I guess it's an outdated joke, and it's also just a
odd one. Yeah.
It's an odd, exactly. Like I would have figured, like I would have found it amusing if everybody was trying to come up with different solutions. It's like it's strangely sweet to see everybody coming together for her because they are genuinely worried and love her.
Yeah.
But it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. It doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work in this day and age either. So it's just like, you can do better show. You can do funnier show.
It was 1979 by then. They could have done better.
Definitely. And they did such a good job, like, with the Slow Child actually getting disability advocates involved in the writing. So it's like, you could have not just gone for the easy, crazy jokes. But I did love the revelation that Uncle Fungi thought Laverne liked being dropped on her head as a child, so he just dropped her on her head.
God, yeah, I have my note on that. Just wide-eyed stare.
The most Gary Marshall joke I have ever heard in my life. The idea of him doing this. Of course, the girls start to fight. They start to physically fight, and enter the boys enjoying the saying the girls fighting way too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, that comes after, I think, right? Because because we have to have the spy show up in the dumbwaiter first.
Oh, that's right. Spy does indeed show up in the dumbwaiter first. And
yes,
yes, go ahead.
God, and the line delivery of "You're going to keep your big mouth zipped."
Yes, zipped.
And and I have to say, for an East German spy, he sure sounds like Laverne's imagination.
Yeah. Or how the German guy sounds in her brain.
A German corporate espionage spy. I mean, maybe he's East German. I don't know, but at the very least, he is German. Which my mother was pointing out that she thought it was kind of weird that he was a German spy, and I said, "Oh yeah, but he's a brewmeister. That's the thing."
Yeah, you go. It makes sense. And of course, in Germany, they had a whole heck of a lot of breweries at one point, and I think they still do, or they might. At this point, I don't know.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they still drink them out of giant glass shoes. I don't know.
Papa. Anyway.
Yeah, and oh my God, when they come back with that 70s style music.
Yes, this is super 70s style, actually. It's not Porkerini, but it's 70s-ish enough. And I don't think it was a musical substitution either. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
No, it's well, if I recall, because there's a couple of moments in this episode where the music is very 70s, but it's also like you could hear the motifs from the opening theme in there a bit.
Yeah.
It's like that's where they're headed.
Very violin heavy as well. Very violin heavy. Yes, I believe this is actually where the boys enter. Unless I've lost my mind.
Yes,
good.
Right. Yeah, let's see the screen spy man. Is he still there? Yeah, and then the girls wrestle, and then the boys. Yeah, I love Squiggy's line: "Rip her shirt off, Laverne."
They're both so into it. They're both way too into it. Women wrestling, I love that. When a man doesn't.
We'd like to see you do this in mud.
Yes, the phrasing of that line is so glorious. Of course they do. It's amazingly horny. That whole bit is amazingly horny. I do have to say that. It's like, geez, boys. It's like, you're less obvious while you always see them naked. And of course, they're done with them. They're so done with them. And they try to get rid of them, but then the revelation about the peach, the moldy peach.
This is obviously a plot to deface the fine fruit of America.
Why should you? You live in a dairy state. The whole thing is
I love that line.
So
glorious. Boy.
I love that Laverne tries to defend the boys and say they're not completely stupid, and they come out with that, and she goes, "They're completely stupid."
Yep.
But I love that she gives them the benefit of the doubt, and she's the one who thinks more highly of them than Shirley most of the time. And of course, they get rid of the boys, and the boys are upset, but Here comes the big biology quiz story that kind of gets Shirley more on Laverne's side, at least gets her to agree to go to the brewery to investigate this dude, which is sweet. I love that story. I didn't see you do it, but
Yeah.
I believed
Yeah,
you.
but I believed you because you're my friend.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. That delivery is great.
So cute. So cute.
And then of course Shirley later goes, I lied, I cheated on that frog test, of course. And then, oh God, when I should have cut up that crummy frog when I had the chance. And my note is, God, it's so violent. There are times when Shirley is incredibly violent in this season, and a bit in last season as well, but really in this season, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, when she gets ragey, she gets scary. Even more so than Laverne, who just like rips her coat wide open several times, pulls all the buttons right off.
Oh boy!
And then, of course, there's the reestablishment of the girls' sisterhood here. So they head off to shots and sneak in and try to get proof. Which
the sneaky approach.
Yes.
Which I can't believe my silly little note for this is cue the man from Uncle music. Oh, I wish. But yeah, I love it. So I thought it was interesting. So they sneak in the same window the guy jumped out of, and that puts an interesting flip on the story.
Yeah.
Of how did he jump out the window? How did he escape the last time?
I think the implication is that he had training, acrobatic training. He could take a fall from 3 flights up. That also means
that's where he dumped all his character points into that stat.
Yes. And the implication was that the girls got a ladder that was 3 stories high, which is pretty impressive on short notice. So.
Well, no. There's the line about how did you know about this way into the room from the men's bathroom or something?
Yes, that's right.
And yeah, Laverne's comment. I found out about it during last year's Christmas party. You don't want to hear about it.
Yes, we do. What the heck are you doing in that bathroom, Laverne? Osio? Was it filthy? How many codes do we need to break what happened? It was an A3 or an A5? Let's get Shirley's diary and break it all wide open.
Yeah. But I do love when they get the camera and it turns out there's only one photo left because Shirley likes to take pictures of Boo Boo Kitty. So I now imagine Shirley in the Instagram era.
Yes. We had discussion about this previously. I think on Pod, and also between the two of us about what the gang would be like in the internet age. I think they discussed that a couple of episodes ago, but yeah, you can picture her being a cat mom. She's on Catstagram. She's probably got T-shirts and stickers on sale, featuring art of her adorable kitty cat.
Yep.
Yes.
And then there goes the camera into the drink, which made me groan and die a little inside. That poor camera. What did it ever do to deserve that?
Yep. Poor thing.
But at least you get to hear more of Eddie Mecca's laughter on the back.
Yes, you can hear Michael too. The two of them alternate. I guess they're a permanent part of the laugh track. And they just use them to sweeten the pot every once in a while. But you can definitely hear Eddie in this episode, which is really cute. So the girls end up in the drink together. Cue that fight. That fight.
Yep.
That fight,
and the audience gets a case of the giggles.
Yes. And of course, the guy tries to sneak in. The girls got lucky in their own way. They managed to capture him. And that guard is G.W. Bailey, isn't it? Isn't it?
That is G.W. Bailey. That security guard is indeed Scroder from Short Circuit.
Yes,
I had a little scream moment when I realized that.
Yes. And of course, he is from Mannequin as well. Switcher.
Ah.
Yes. Some that.
That's another on the 80s era that I have not seen is Mannequin.
How have you not seen Mannequin? Gasp.
I think it was a case of I think my mom wanted to tape it and watch it with me when I was young, when I was like 10 and just forgot to. I can't remember. But yeah. But Bailey was great here as the security guard. I love that he apparently knows Shirley. He calls out to her by name.
Yes.
So it makes you wonder if she's tried to date him at one point.
Possibly. At this point, I'm sure the girls have made their way through.
Because there's the exasperation in his voice makes it clear he's been involved with their hijinks before. That's the reason why I say that.
Exactly. I have a feeling the girls have, at this point, dated their way through all the eligible dudes in that brewery. So, of course, they have probably dated this guy, at least one or both of them.
Right.
Yeah, I love that moment, too.
But yeah, no, it's great. It's a small little part, but he's great there. He has a great line in the final scene. The whatever he has in his pants is his business.
Yes, that's a terrific line. I had that highlighted. That is so funny.
Nice.
That is
So good.
funny.
But yeah, I wonder if G.W. Bailey's ever had people try to drink him out of a shoe.
At this point, it would be a mitzvah. It would be a celebration. Just drink the poor man right out of a shoe.
Before we get away from the vat scene, my mother had a comment that comment that she felt it was like that episode of I Love Lucy where they end up at the wine grape vats.
Yeah. Visually, at least, that is very accurate. That's very, very accurate.
Yeah, she had a big laugh out of that. She felt like they were two kids, and yeah. And I love them chasing each other in the circle. It reminded me of like a very Mario Sunshine animation where like someone's running around in a loop.
Oh yeah, I can see that too.
This also, by the way, there's the line, and you laughed when I took water ballet lessons. So that means that this is something Shirley did as a kid.
Yeah, I can picture that. Of course she would do that. She took regular ballet, she took water ballet. She probably would have taken horse riding lessons if she could. So I can absolutely envision her taking water ballet lessons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I noticed, just real quick, one last thing. On the note of the vat scene, they're underwater and the security guard comes in first and bangs on the pipes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the second time I realized, oh my God, the ringing in their ears. That must be horrifying.
Oh God. The suffering that the two of them go through just to get this guy caught is kind of amazing. But that would be painful as heck. Oy vey. So Laverne manages to strip this guy's pants off and point out the fact that he's a spy. And she's right. Audience is relieved as heck.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Big cheers.
Big cheers. Everybody... The audience was not here for everybody being terrible to Laverne and treating her like a baby. So they were absolutely 100% over the top relieved. And thus, he is arrested. Laverne is vindicated. And the girls get to take a celebratory sip of beer out of buckets.
And a camera.
And the camera. Can't forget the poor camera. That poor camera.
God, now I want that as a camera mug now.
Yeah, those exist.
You can get there's lens mugs because I mean there's those giant honking lenses for SLR cameras. Yes. So I know those exist, but yeah, now it's like I want a camera mug.
They absolutely exist. Oh, I know they exist. They're out there somewhere. I've seen them in catalogs before.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But it's a good time. There's a lot of goofiness.
Yeah.
This is kind of sweet. I mentioned my mom. My mom had notes for this one, and straight out the gate when we were watching, the intro's coming on, my mother said, this show made me realize how many crappy female roommates I had. I would have loved to have had a roommate like one of these two, and it's like, same, Ma, same.
Oh,
yeah, I thought that was very sweet. Yeah, she has some horror stories about roommates. Actually, when she lived in Hyannisport for a while, she had stories of she would have stayed in Massachusetts if not for one of the people she was staying with who was completely out of their mind. But yeah, it's so I mean, it's been kind of healing, I think, for her to see, because my mom, had a hard time, with people, so. Yeah. It's nice. This is, and the reason partly I bring this up is that this episode is a wonderful example of how the sisterhood does have to come together, and they they have to bond and fight back against the forces of evil German espionage spies and the lack of belief, that people think that people don't want to believe something that's outlandish but true.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, they actually managed to come together and to fight the forces of evil. And that is what the most important thing is. If the girls ever came away from an episode not being friends, that would be the antithesis of this show. So, sisterhood is indeed powerful.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think you're ranking this one?
6.5, I think. Not a 6. No, I'm going to go about 6.8.
Okay.
This is a fun episode. It is very well known for all of its physical comedy. The vat scene needs to be seen to be believed. And it is indeed one of their best physical comedy moments. And let me add and remind y'all, they did this without stunt doubles. They did this themselves. So whenever you watch this scene, remember that is really Penny and really Cindy in those big giant vats of what's presumably water, trying not to drown while being funny. It's worthwhile seeing. The boys' little bits of fun. What takes it down for me is the mental illness aspect of the dumb, is she crazy or not, part of the plot. The finger painting scene seems to go on forever. It just seemed like a way to get Edna and Frank into the episode and they had no other ideas. And I feel like almost it could just have stuck with the girls and the boys just appearing in this one, plus the spies and G.W. Bailey being funny little guest spot star. So that's it. Yeah, that's my ranking. What do you think?
It's good. That's good. I part of me wants to give it a 7 just because I liked the spy angle. I liked the character, Ludwig so much. But yeah, I think 6.5 is probably the fair, and I think is also where it lands for me, because I would want to rewatch parts of this episode, but not the whole episode.
Yeah.
And it's when I want to watch the whole episode, it hits like at a 7 or higher for me.
Yeah.
Or at least it should.
Yeah.
It should anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you need to see parts of it because there are iconic moments here, but parts of it could be totally discarded and forgotten about. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other notes? Anything about the Skroder?
Nah. Yeah, I don't have anything.
All right, cool. And I guess with that all being said, then we should tell you all thanks again so much for listening to us. And if you would like to know more, please join us at Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, WordPress, and Patreon, or Night After Night PC on Twitter, where we do regular updates and try to communicate with the fans and all that sort of stuff. And if you like this episode, you could leave us comments on the YouTube posting of this video. And if you would, just like to be super cool, please, take a look at the Patreon. We try to get these episodes, done a lot in advance. So if you want to get exclusive episodes ahead of time, or if you would like to help us make it to goals of making, some special episodes, that'd be also pretty rad too. We thank you so much once again. And I don't know what's coming up next year. Is a Shirley and a something? It's a man. To what? What are we doing here?
There are indeed old dudes involved. Shirley meets and makes the acquaintance of a rich older man, but everyone from Carmine to the guy's daughter tries to get in the way of the relationship. This is Shirley and the older man.
Man, so what kind of? what kind of older man would even be able to woo Shirley anyway? It would be someone like kind of cool and neat, but also classy and dignified, kind of like Alan Alda, but older.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There you go.
I'm just thinking out loud. All right, cool. We'll see you folks next time for that, and thanks again.
Don't choke on any hops, kids. Bye now.
Especially if they're rotten.
Yeah. No yeast either. No fermented yeast. Not overly fermented.